Welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another episode of Just Two Guys Talking. I'm your host, George Vargas, with my co-host, John Howard.
Yep. Hi, I'm John, and I'm here with my good friend George.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we're becoming virtual friends. In fact, we've never met each other, but
hmm
you know how technology is these days. You can pretty much learn so much about someone just by spending Zoom time with them, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and we have one little thing in common. We're bike geeks, right?
Well, I
So
think maybe two. We're kind of car geeks a little bit too. We
yes,
we do
yes,
a
yes.
bit of car
Actually,
spotting.
oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Um, so it was like 2 days ago. I rode by a car that I'm like, oh, I'll get a picture of it on the way back.
hmm
And then I was
And it
just,
was gone.
no, I was in my own
Oh,
world.
you were, oh, even
A
worse.
Galaxy 500.
A Ford Galaxy 500?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I do not see many of
I
those
know.
at
I'm
all.
gonna get it for you next time. And it looked stock. So
Oh,
that was awesome
wow.
too. It looked stock.
We got to show a picture in the B-roll for
Yes.
all the viewers out there, for all the youngins that
Yeah,
don't know.
they don't know. Yeah, they're all about Teslas and whatever.
And their plastic bikes.
And their plastic bikes. I know, I know. Well, anyway, so how's your week been going?
It's going. I've got my beverage of choice, so
Well,
it's on the up and up,
I,
and
I,
it's
I,
blurred actually.
oh, is it okay?
Yeah, it was blurred for. Oh, there. Now it's in
There
focus.
it is. Yeah, I have a philosophy. You should never eat alone and you should never drink alone. So that's just something I live by. So
Excellent.
so yeah, even when Jess gets home late from work, I will eat with her so she just doesn't eat alone. I just don't think that that's good. But
hmm
anyway, so yeah, rough week maybe, huh?
Little rough, but hey,
Yeah.
it's the weekend. It's a weekend. It's a Friday right now, so it's
It-
looking good already.
yeah.
Already.
Yes, it
What
is.
one of the things that I noticed, George, over the past week was I was looking at your Strava.
Yeah.
And on the one of the, I guess the subject of it was birthday month. So
Yes.
happy early birthday, happy belated. I don't know where it's fallen.
Yeah, I didn't mention it yet. So it's September the 10th. Today is September the 5th, so it would be early.
hmm
This being September the 5th, I'm running a pretty good streak so far. So what I'd like to do is 30 for 30.
So like, what is that?
I think the hashtag will get some momentum because 30 for 30 is like a ESPN
Yeah.
show and they profile, they do biographies and stuff. But I'm going to do it as Ride 30 for 30. I will be 60 this month. And for my 60th, because I'm not going to jump out of an airplane, I'm not going to do anything extravagant like that. I'm going to hold myself to ride 30 days in the month of September, which is 30 days. So ride 30 for 30. And I have only one stipulation, and that is if I miss a day, then I'll do a double on another day, right? So
hmm hmm
the point is really 30 for 30. If I can do 30 continuous consecutive days, that'd be awesome. That's a dream. But work, life,
hmm
illness, all kinds of things get in the way. So yeah, that's my
So
goal.
is that 30 miles every
Mm,
day, or
Oh,
is it just 30 in a row? What?
30 rides over the course of 30 days in the month of September. Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say 30 miles is kind of just a warm up for you.
But the thing is, it takes time,
Yes, it
right?
does. It
And if I
does.
have a lot of bikes in the shop, I actually have to turn a wrench. So that means I physically have to be there. Other things I can do, electronically and if I have to ship energy product all over the country, that's fine. But when it comes to actually turning a wrench, that takes time. Or even, a bike fit or something like that that I had to do two of them this week. So you have to physically be there.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
as my manager says, between the hours of 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., those are generally free to do what you need to get done.
That's it. That's a really hardcore manager. Yeah. Sounds like what did Musk say to the Twitter thing? He says we're gonna go hardcore or something. What did he
Oh
say?
man.
Anyway, yeah, so the thing is with that is making a commitment and following it through. For example, one of the days I only rode, I think it was 18 miles. That's all I had the time to do. And I had
Hmm.
to get back to the shop and get stuff done. It's just make that commitment of 30 days and follow it through. On the other hand, Saturday I did 92 miles and then Monday, Labor Day, I did 110. So it'll all balance itself out, but it's just 30 days of continuous riding. I don't usually do that. I
Hmm.
always take a rest day. I always do something, right? So,
Yeah, I had a similar, smaller commitment over the 3-day weekend that we just had,
mhm.
where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go for the hat trick, which is 3 days in a row. For those of you out there who aren't familiar with hockey, hat trick is 3 goals in a game, so
Yeah,
3 rides in a row. That hat trick for me, and I was able to do it with my good friend Cassidy. So right on. Thank you, Cassidy, for being my partner in crime.
that's right. And Cassidy was very lucky to have your time for 3 days in a row. So that's cool. Do you want to start getting on with the show?
Yes, let's get on with the show.
Let's get on with the show. So I've got a couple of industry news stories. One of them has to do with Italy and another factory in Italy. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Can I take a guess?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
So a few years back, I heard that Bianchi was bringing their manufacturing back to Italy. I don't know if it's open and pumping out bicycles, but is that it? Maybe?
Nope. No,
Nope.
no, but I appreciate your guess. It's a good guess because it is true that they were going to open up a factory. I haven't followed up on that since I dropped my Bianchi dealership. But
Anybody who knows, you can
yeah,
put it in the comments,
that's
please.
right. Drop a comment down below. No, this is actually SRAM. SRAM is opening a factory because they just recently acquired Ochain, and I don't know if that's the correct way to pronounce it, but that's the way
Hmm.
it looks. O and the word chain. Ochain.
Okay, I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, I had thought about doing an industry news story about SRAM acquiring this company that makes cranksets and chain rings or something like that.
Hmm.
I don't have all the details on it because it's not that interesting of a story. It was just a teaser to see what you would think about the Italian factory opening up. But yeah, that's what's going on there. And then I have another industry news story about Woom bikes. Are you familiar with Woom?
No, I haven't
W
heard of them.
yeah, WOOM. And let me read this to you because, it's kind of fun when something like this. Woom announced it has had its best 6 months in its 12-year history
Oh,
with a 41% increase in revenue.
oh, excellent. Good for you.
Yes, yes. Now, if you're not familiar with Woom, they make kids' bikes basically. And I'm talking like if I was a kid, I would want one of these bikes. I mean, they're five, six, $700 bikes, so they're not cheap.
Okay,
And
yeah.
and yeah, and we're talking like a 13-pound bike. Like,
Okay.
have you ever picked up kids' bikes?
I have. I
I mean,
have, and boy, it's arm day.
yeah, it's definitely. And it's like a 25-pound bike, and the kid weighs, 60 pounds, right? And he's having to lug this bike around. Well,
Hmm.
these Woom bikes are really, really, they're like a lightweight aluminum 6061. Pretty,
Lightweight.
yeah. I like super lightweight bikes. Yeah. And that's why they have such a premium. But anyway, so the privately held uh kids brand reported in a news release revenue of 90 million euros. So
Wow.
about
Okay.
100 about 105 million. And said it has sold more than 2 million bikes since launching in 2013. So there you go. Yeah. So that's a really, really good thing to have, these
Yeah.
kids on bikes, great little bikes. I've seen quite a few of them in my store. They're usually from a well-heeled family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great to see the kids on regular pedal bikes versus the e-bike or the e-scooter. I mean, they
Yeah.
should be starting on a regular bike.
And they do the balance bikes and they do the pedal bikes. So,
Hmm.
so they have a pretty good range. I think they go all the way up to teenagers actually. But the only bikes I've seen is like, 6-year old kids and younger. You had an industry news story you wanted to talk about. What's that?
Yeah. So a little while back, I have an old Wahoo version 1 Bolt, the
Mm.
monochrome LCD. And recently I got an email saying, hey, we're sorry, we're sending out a update for everybody. Please be patient. We're working on fixing it. And I can report that they've fixed it at least for the V1 Bolt. I did get hit where I lost a ride, um, but it happens. If anybody's out there with a V1 Bolt and you boot up and you notice that your time is off, you're probably going to lose your ride. You probably need to run an update because that is what I noticed. And I thought, oh, maybe it's daylight savings already.
And
But
you
nope.
just went out and
And I just
rode.
went. And
Okay.
of course, I got all these PRs, right?
Of
I
course,
mean,
that was the day you were
that was
slinging
the
it.
day. That was the day. Pagacha, I had you. I
Yeah.
had you.
Yeah.
But after, when I got home, the ride didn't upload. And after I did an update on the Bolt, which it'll prompt you on your phone if you're using the Bolt app, it'll say, "Do you want to update?" After I did that, the time was synced correctly. Everything since then has been just fine. So thank
So
you,
I'm
Wahoo people.
Yeah, so I'm guessing some of those people had to work between the 1 and 4 a.m., which was a very productive time frame for them, right?
That's what has to happen
That's what
sometimes,
has to happen.
unfortunately.
Well, yeah, because everyone needs that PR for
Yeah.
self-validation. And
Hmm.
so they need that ride. And then that all trickles back over to the software development folks working crazily, crazily, crazily. Oh, and then my mentee is all grown up. If you watch the channel, you have seen this gentleman's um, Canyon. I think it's an Endurace or something like that. It's an aluminum Canyon
Hmm.
bike.
Hmm.
Came in, we did some service on it. Then we got some aero bars on it. Then we got some race wheels, carbon 50 millimeter deep wheels, and then I took him out on a ride and so on, so on, so on. Well, this weekend, so this being September 5th, I think he's racing September 7th, a Sunday, is his first triathlon. And he's doing
Mm.
a 70.3, so a half Ironman event in Santa Cruz, so kind of up by your way.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah,
NorCal.
NorCal. And so my mentee's all grown up. I don't know what else
Nice.
he's flown the nest. I don't know what else I can do for the guy.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Or
go ahead.
I was going to say, as Darth Vader would say, when I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Well, maybe not quite the master, but
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
there.
So he brought his bike through. Oh, and he's using Rev Energy for his nutrition. So good for him.
Hmm.
Um, he's still he's still hesitant on the high carb. So I told him you need to be at least 300 calories per hour, 75 grams. And he has a mental block with it. He just doesn't get that you can do that.
Hmm.
And so he's going to be doing gels and all this other stuff. And I'm like, my energy product is much easier to digest than all those simple sugars you're going to put into your stomach with those gels. But that's
Hmm.
okay. Hopefully the foundation of his nutrition is the Rev Energy, and then he'll supplement with the other things. I don't know. But
Hmm. And always do what works for you. Do
that
what
is
works
the
for you.
thing, if mentally he just thinks that that is what's going to work for him, then yeah. But
Hmm.
the discussion of the program.
Yeah. So speaking of racing and PRs and
Okay.
all that good stuff,
Okay.
uh, you sent me some old power meters to check out the Asio Favero. I think I got relatively close on the name.
Yeah. Asioma. Yeah.
Asioma Favero. Yeah. I threw them on the bicycle and I had my first 80 miles total, I think, on
Okay.
them.
So is that two rides or three?
That was the hat trick
Oh,
weekend.
that
That
was
was the hat
okay.
trick
So you
weekend.
got it on for the first day of your 3 day.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
So the great timing, great
Yeah.
timing.
Good. Good.
So I have to ask you because I think there are three variables that were going on with me.
Okay.
So number one is just riding with a power meter and looking at numbers as I'm riding. So that was change number one that I noticed. Change number two is the physical platform of the Faveros compared to my goofball pedals.
Oh, you saw that video.
Yeah, I think you were talking to somebody.
I don't know, just somebody, anyone
Yeah.
who
So
fits the profile.
I normally ride time pedals, so the change in pedals was a little bit. And maybe the third one that kind of goes along with that is the cleat float. Um, I'm not sure if you sent me zero float or if they were the regular float, but it did feel different where I was adjusting my cleats, I think a little bit more than I would.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we will address number three first.
yeah.
My pedals are pretty worn out because
Hmm.
they've got thousands, I mean, probably 70,000 miles on them. So, and I wanted to replace those pedal bodies a long time ago, and then I said, ah, forget it.
Hmm.
I did send you zero cleats,
Ah,
but because the pedals are so worn out,
they
they
have a
have
little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have float.
Hmm.
So that's number three. Oh, and then number two was
The platform
moving from the
itself.
two different platforms. So how was
Yeah.
that?
So that was a little different. Let me look at my notes here because I actually wrote down the difference in stack height between the pedals. Um, so the Faveros were listed at 10.5 for their stack height. The times are at 15.1. So right there, that's a noticeable drop.
Yeah.
And for those of you out there that ride different pedals, look Kios are in the 17-ish range, and the Speedplay Wahoos are in the 8 to 11, depending on if you're doing the four bolt or the 3 bolt. Um, and
And Shimano? You didn't?
oh, dude, nobody cares about Shimano.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have numbers for
Okay.
Shimano. Um, so that
Because Shimano is the most widely used pedal system. So you should have had that.
okay, okay, my
They have
bad.
they have this much of the market share, and then Look has this much of the market share, and then
Campy does have like that that
a
that
sliver.
I don't think they even make them anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen their pedals in a long time on any bike that's come in. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, anyways. So the noticing the difference in the platform did feel a little bit uh strange, whereas it might just be in the cleat design where I like to move my cleat all the way back towards
Yeah,
my heel as much as
yeah,
possible.
yeah.
And I actually wrote to Lake Cycling where I noticed that the screw holes are in kind of a slot on the bottom of the shoe, and they didn't easily move. So I wrote to them asking, "Hey, if I kind of put a little bit more force, are
Ooh,
these shoes
yeah,
designed to move downwards?"
yeah.
And
They should.
yeah, they said they are. They
Okay.
said that there might be a little bit of adhesive that's keeping them in place, but go ahead and muscle it a little bit. So that's one thing
Yeah,
that I
I
still need to do a little.
yeah I ride my cleats all the way to the rear as
Hmm.
well. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so that was one thing that I noticed, and I think The zero float, um, it there is a little bit of float, like you said, just because the pedal bodies are worn, but getting them correct for me, I did really have to pay attention, a lot more attention than I would with the regular float on my cleats. Uh,
Well, and it makes sense too
yeah,
because
it
yeah,
absolutely makes sense.
yeah,
It does.
yeah.
And I was gonna say that a lot of people who probably, unless you have knee problems, you probably could go with the zero floats. You just need to really get a good fit to uh to get it set up, because I think that's what float kind of hides, is a not so good fit, which is what people get when they just throw it on their bike, right?
And this is why I don't like speed plate pedals because it just allows people to do all kinds of weird stuff with their pedaling mechanics
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, you know, and I've done videos where I've said that float is overrated and I got blasted. And of course, I don't care because I still believe it and I'm not going to change my mind. It's funny how people say stuff and I'm like, you're not going to change my mind. I mean, you
Yeah,
just
he's a
waste
jarhead.
you just wasted all that time writing that vitriol because I just laugh at you, you know, because I still believe that float is overrated
Hmm.
and it's completely unnecessary and it's especially 15 degrees and all this other stuff that these
Yeah, that's
whopping
quite a bit.
oh yeah, that's ridiculous. But
Hmm.
yes, if you have a zero cleat, which I prefer to ride, the setup is very important. You are correct. Did
Hmm.
you adjust your saddle height because you said the stack height? Did you have an issue with your saddle height?
I didn't have an
Okay,
issue with my
good.
saddle height, but
Yeah,
I did feel it a little bit.
okay.
And so until I actually looked at the actual stack heights, um, I was trying to figure out what I was feeling with
Okay.
that had
So
changed.
it was a confirmation when you looked at, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm feeling. It's because of this. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go from the pro setup where my saddle's like way up here and my bar is down here. Now I'm,
Oh,
you know,
oh yeah.
so
So
aesthetics.
okay, so it's funny because I just had a customer in the store. And I just posted his bike. It's a VA VAAST Vast. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Hmm.
Magnesium bike.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's a purple bike. It's a bike profile I just posted. And the guy was kind of in between sizes, and he said his vanity got in the way or his complex got in the way. So he bought the extra large. I'm like,
Hmm.
no, you go the other way.
Hmm.
You make
Hmm.
smaller bikes bigger, but you can't make bigger bikes smaller. You just can't. It's the same thing as when people have seat post envy, and you just
Hmm.
talked about it. When you want the seat post really high showing
Uh-huh.
over your bike, and hey, if you got short legs, that's never gonna happen. I mean,
No.
you got to be buying, you got to be riding a bike that's like three sizes too small. Then you can put your seat posts finally up.
Hmm. Hmm. And speaking of bike size,
Yes.
I had sent you earlier today that Waterford that I was eyeing in the area.
Yeah, the
And
R33. What
the
is it?
R33,
S33?
yeah, using the nice True Temper S3 tube set that they don't make anymore. But one of the things I noticed that was kind of weird was, oh yeah,
Time
yeah.
out. What is that akin to? Is that like a 953? Is that
Yeah, that's the top of the line tube set.
okay? All right.
Hmm.
Thank you.
The thin wall, ultra stiff tube set.
Okay.
Um, and so in the listing they said size 48, but looking at the head tube, it was actually pretty big. Like for size 48, I'm expecting the two tubes to basically join together. And
But it's custom.
it's custom, so that got me thinking, well, maybe there's some magic going on. But one of my friends in our writing group, Jason, he's really into frame design and sizing. And so he punched in the numbers after us. We were able to get the seller to do some measurements with a tape. And it's actually a size 58 frame. So
Did
that would,
they is I didn't notice in the picture, but is that a really like super slope on the top tube?
I didn't really notice if the top tube was that sloped or not.
Because I'm
But what?
wondering where he got the 48 measurement from. Because usually
Oh,
people will name the 48 center of the bottom bracket to center of the top tube, or center to top or something.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah. The 48 was the seat tube
yeah.
length, but the 58 was the top tube
Oof, that's long.
length. Yeah, yeah. Way longer than I can do.
Yeah.
And that it makes sense because as I pointed out to you in our text messages, he had such a short stem. He had a mountain bike stem on that thing. And yeah, my friend Jason just crushed my dreams right there.
Well, no, it's better to crush your dreams than to,
Oh yeah, then to be out, hundreds of
spend the
bucks.
money. Yeah. Yeah, spend the money on that. All right, so then now let's address number one. Are you saying that you don't typically look at the computer when you're writing?
Not that much.
Oh,
I'll look at it when I'm on a climb to see the grade. Um, and once in a while I'll look at it to see how fast I'm going.
right.
But since I have the V1 Yahoo, there's really the map on there is useless. The only recently it would alert me when my Strava segments were coming up. Um, so it's just really a clock that I can see while I'm riding to know when I have to be home. So I'm not used to paying attention that much to the cycling computer. And I noticed on my ride, so there's this video that's been going around, and I think it went around in one of our text message threads where there's a police car that's stopped on the highway,
Oh yeah, and someone
and this
runs into
poor
it.
guy wasn't paying attention and went right into the back of it.
He runs into the back of a motorcycle cop's bike,
Hmm.
and the motorcycle cop has pulled over,
Yeah,
the
everything
car.
was stopped, and I mean, the bicycle was the only thing really moving in that scenario, which is super unfortunate.
And yeah,
And yeah, he did a full Ferris wheel of injury. I hope he's okay.
he looked like
Um,
Cirque du Soleil. He was
yes,
all over. Yeah,
it looked pretty bad.
it did look bad. I've never heard anything about the injuries, but I guess yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
anyway,
I can see if you're not used to, if this is maybe your first few times with maybe you got a brand new cycling computer, maybe it's your first time with the power meter, and you're just head down, I can I can see it happening. I can
yeah,
see it happening.
yeah. And you're right, the first few times, because the thing
Hmm.
is, you get a sense of what your numbers are,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
You're
you,
humbled with those numbers.
well, not so much, but
Okay,
you
okay,
look,
George. Not
no, no, no.
everybody's strong.
What's that?
Not everybody's strong like you.
No, no, no. No, what I mean is you get used to what your numbers
Mm-hmm,
are based on a perceived effort. But yeah, so I mean, I do watch them quite a bit, but I mean, it's not like I'm just tunnel vision, or just like
mm-hmm,
I don't see what's ahead of me.
mm-hmm.
I guess the headline for me would be, did you find value in riding with a power meter?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And not only do I see kind of definitive numbers, because the butt dyno is always wrong. Absolutely. The butt dyno is always
I've
wrong.
never heard of that.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Your perceived effort of I'm going really strong today. I'm just cruising. I mean, really, unless you're coasting, you've got it wrong.
I will play a clip of our conversations about power meters.
Oh boy.
And I specifically said that exact thing to you. Do you remember that?
I remember something like that. I will neither confirm nor deny.
That's good. Because guess what? Your perceived effort is always wrong.
I can believe that.
Hmm.
John, your perceived effort is
Yep.
always wrong.
I completely agree because how many times on Strava, oh dude, I did great today and what? I'm 3 minutes slower or
I said to you, your perceived effort is always wrong. I use
mm-hmm.
those exact words to you.
Mm-hmm. And it's true. It's absolutely true. Even on an easy ride in the flats where you think you're cruising and then you hit like a small bump or a small dip and you see the number change. And it's like, oh, if I'm trying to hold a certain power, I need to really adjust how I'm pedaling. And that is very eye-opening. All the little variances in the road, because normally without the power numbers, you're focused on like, can I hold X miles an hour? Can
Which
I hold that?
exactly, which is what Tommy was doing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell are you doing? I was just trying to hold his speed. I'm like, no, you don't do that. When I came back from Colorado and I said, what you're trying to do is flatten out the course.
Mm-hmm.
So those rollers that you're talking about, to flatten that out is I'm going into the roller before I got there because I'm on a gentle cruise at 100 watts or so. If I hit that roller, I don't want to see 200. I want to see 100 again, or still, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
And go ahead.
I was going to say the effects of those rollers are like mini intervals that you're putting on your body, and you're just burning your matches on those things.
That is correct. That is why on every one of my videos, when I start talking about power, I say everyone should have a power meter. And what I when I say that, it's because when you don't have one, even the people that say to me, I just ride for fun. I just ride for the joy of it. Bullshit. If you're riding with one other guy,
It's a race.
but okay, so you're riding for the joy of it. Okay, you would have more joy if you weren't burning a match on that roller that you just did 300 watts, but you didn't know you did 300 watts because you don't have a power meter because you're thinking, I don't need a power meter. That's just a waste of money for me. I'm 60 whatever years old. I'm 100 years old and I've never had a power meter, blah, blah. Here's the thing, people. It's all about increasing your fun on the bike. If you're on a long day with your friends, it's all about what I have remember all my 50 Rev says things, right?
Hmm.
One of the other ones is crack on your own terms. Crack on your own terms. And what that means is if someone goes up the road on a hill or a roller, I decide if I'm going to crack
Hmm.
by chasing them. So if I'm on a long, fun day on the bike and that person goes up and I'm looking at my numbers and oh, it's increasing, it's all over 300. I can't, no, forget it. See you later. I crack on my own terms. So there is more joy to it. But if you're in any other thing like a group ride or a grand fondo or something you've paid a ton of money to do, a trip to Italy for fun, the power meter is essential to allow you to have fun. Because if it's a 7 day trip and you crushed yourself on day two, you're not going to enjoy day three and four. Then you'll finally come back around on day five, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and the other thing that I said on your on in response to your comment was when I say everyone that's watching my channel.
Hmm.
If you're watching my channel, you should be using a power meter
Yeah, you're
because
probably an enthusiast who cares.
right. There's other channels you could be watching or should be watching if you don't really care about riding a bike with a little bit of performance, right? You know, there's Pathless Pedal. He is a fantastic resource. I mean, I wish I could meet the guy because he just seems like such a nice guy,
Oh
right?
yeah,
I could
yeah,
just hang out with.
yeah. Shout out to you, Russ.
Shout out
Awesome
to Russ.
channel.
That's right. It is an awesome channel. But I don't think those people are watching my channel. I watch his channel, but that's just because he does some really cool um I wouldn't call him jerry rigs.
The
He
cave of bad ideas. That's what he calls it.
yes, that's what he calls it. That's right. But when I say everyone, I mean everyone watching my channel should be using a power meter. What other notes do you have? Because I don't want to take the floor on this. I want you to have more of your experiences and share that with us.
Yeah. So the other thing I noticed was pedaling smoothly. What I thought was pedaling smoothly, the power meter is disagreeing with me because my numbers are all over the place. And
Did you do a 3 second
I
averaging?
did do
Okay,
a
all right.
3 second watts per kilo.
You might have to do 5 second until you smooth out your pedaling style.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, this will really tell you,
Yeah.
hey, you need to smooth this out.
And let's explain this for the audience. A power meter is a very, very precise and sensitive is almost a negative connotation, but it is a device that when you push on it, it says you did this much pressure on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if you're the type of person who pedals mash, 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 then the number is going to be spike, 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 spike,
Mm-hmm.
spike, spike, spike. So if you learn to kind of smooth out your pedaling cadence, you pull and you push and you pull and you push, then the number starts to stabilize a little bit, and then you keep working on that. What I was, this is for the audience, what I was saying earlier about 3 second and 5 second, the computer will then say, okay, let me average out for the last 3 seconds and then display a number. Or if you'd set it for 5 seconds, let me average it out for 5 seconds and display that number. And that is better for beginning riders until they get there. But believe it or not, even I always use 3 second average. The only time I don't use 3 second average and I use more of a live reporting
Ah,
is when I go left right balance. On that one, I leave it live because it takes too long to get that response back. So I'd rather have it on once, I'd rather have it live. So as I'm pushing my left pedal and my right pedal, it's reporting live. How much value did you see in riding with a power meter compared to what you thought? Like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I've heard about power meters, and George is talking about them, and he thinks they're so important. And then the reality of it when you finally were doing it.
Yeah. So maybe a good example of that is when you talk about nasal breathing.
Oh,
Nasal
okay,
breathing.
okay, okay.
And so there's been a few rides where it's like, okay, George keeps talking about this. I'm going to give it a try.
All
I'm going to
right.
give it a try.
Yeah.
And one thing you notice right away with nasal breathing is, oh, I can't really stand up because I'm a rider that likes to stand up. So right away it's like, okay, I can't do that very often. And you kind of feel it a little bit more. You're more in tune with your effort because all of a sudden you're breathing through your nose and you're not gulping air like you normally would. Um, and with the power meter, I noticed that in order to nail nasal breathe, you can't blow yourself up. And in order to not blow yourself up, you need to go a good pace, a
You gotta look at your
reasonable
numbers.
pace that you can hold. And to go a reasonable pace, you need the numbers to tell you slow down, bring it back.
And this is what we talked about on the Tommy
Hmm.
um front range, the Colorado front range 1200K debrief. It was about having him slow down. breathe through your nose, slow down. We're doing 750 miles.
Mm-hmm.
I always caveat everything I talk about, power meter, pacing, burning match, that we're doing a 750 miler. We're doing a 400K today. And then tomorrow we're doing a 300K, another 300K the next day. You pay for those sins
Mm-hmm.
as the days go on. I just recently started uploading some videos about TSS,
Mm-hmm.
training stress score. And the training stress score takes into account the duration, and the intensity of your ride. How long you rode, how hard did you ride? And then you get a score. And the power meter tells you that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing a high TSS on day one, day two and day three are going to be harder days because you just went too hard or,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Pacing, flattening out the course, nasal breathing. Tommy was accelerating on every roller. Why? Why? I
Mm-hmm.
would stay at a very low power. He would accelerate over the roller. Then he'd be gassed at the top. He'd start coasting, trying to catch his breath. I still did the same power, caught him and passed him, and now I'm waiting for him. Come on, man. Get on the wheel. This is the thing. And a power meter helps you do that. I said that I could take a cyclist with $1,000 bike and a power meter and make them a better cyclist than a $10,000 bike without a power meter. $2,000 of a set of wheels when they should be buying a $500 power meter. I can take a cyclist who, has $1,000 bike and a $500 power meter and make them a faster cyclist than the one with the $10,000 bike and no power meter.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed. Like guaranteed. Faster, more efficient, better cyclist. So, how do you feel about that comment now?
I I I would not put money against you on that one. I would not. Especially the longer the ride is, the more truth that that holds.
You know what I told Jess? I told Jess that my gift to you with no, listen, you're gonna like this, is that I want to give you the gift of a PR on Quimby Road.
Oh boy. That's a tall order because the John that hit the PR on Quimby Road was 5 years ago in the pandemic when I was
Oh,
bicycling a
a
lot.
lot.
A lot.
All right, okay.
Those legs are
Those were good legs.
those
Okay.
were good legs.
All
Those
right.
were much younger and stronger legs.
I see the challenge
Holy
that you
cow.
I see the challenge you're giving me. Because here's how I see this. I want you, is it close to you? Is
Oh
it
yeah.
convenient? Okay.
It's like less than 5 miles away.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's a warm up and then the pain.
Okay. I like this. Here's
I don't
how
like this.
I'll come up with you and suffer with you. How's that?
Oh boy.
Okay. No, but here's how because we need something tangible for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think theoretically you're starting to see it.
Hmm.
But okay, so it's 5 years ago. So it's even more dramatic if we make it happen, right?
Hmm.
Because look, I got PRs from 10 years ago that I'm probably never going to touch again, right? I'm now 60 basically, in a week. I would love for you to ride Quimby Road with with your power meter taped over. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, your computer taped over so you don't see what's going on. And ride by feel, like what we've said before
Hmm.
is always going to be wrong.
Hmm.
Perceived effort, butt dyno, call it what you wish. Then I want you to download those numbers, send me the file, and I'll look at it at Training Peaks and analyze it.
Hmm.
And then look at the mistakes you made along the way, and then look for what should be a really, because it is a steady grade for a while and then it kicks at the end,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yep.
Okay. If we could find a number to work towards and use the power meter to do it, that would be an illustration of how important a power meter is. If we
Hmm.
now take 5-year-old older John to beat pandemic John,
Powered
because
by Rev Energy.
powered by Rev Energy, but more importantly, paced by a
Yeah.
power meter,
Hmm.
then it would make sense to you. Like, okay, yeah, I could see, because now instead of when I look at my file that I did by myself or on
Hmm.
perceived effort, and then the power number that George said I should hold, you know, that's the gift I want for you.
Yeah. And so to further put kind of definition with this challenge, the Quimby Road challenge that I have in front of me now.
All right, yeah.
So with going in blindfolded, my blindfolded ride, that one I'm still trying hard and I'm still trying to get the
Oh
best
yeah.
time
You're
I can
you're
get.
going.
Yeah, I'm going
Full
for it.
you're
Full
full
send.
send. You're full send. And I want to see what your perceived effort gives you.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then we'll regroup, and not a lot of training in between, because then that would
Yeah.
cut out, that would add a variable to it. Oh, well, he trained more.
Hmm.
So we got to do it in a short time afterwards. So it's still the same
The same
John.
me.
Another comment you made on that video,
Oh God.
I told you, John, you're getting roasted tonight, buddy. You said, yeah, but because I said, well, instead of buying a $2,000
Oh boy, this gonna hurt.
set of wheels, you should buy a $500 power meter. And you said,
Yeah, well, I think part of it, George, is that the power meter isn't something that you necessarily reap the benefit of immediately. With new wheels, you feel that right away. With
I disagree.
new other stuff,
I
you feel it
disagree.
right away.
I
It's like an
disagree.
instant gratification.
I disagree.
Really?
I
See, I don't have a
disagree.
power meter, so I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I disagree 100%. Actually, if I could
Yeah,
disagree 1,000%, yes, I would disagree 1,000%.
fair enough. I mean, I have no experience, so I cannot dispute you.
If not, I'll recap it for you. Do you remember?
I said the wheels, you can feel it and you can see it and it's tangible and it's,
And you could feel it immediately, you said.
yeah.
How do you feel about that comment now?
Yeah. What would I say? I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations.
You're pleading the fifth. But could you see a tangible
Yeah,
thing immediately?
absolutely.
And what I want
Absolutely immediately.
and what I wanted to say to you is, on the first pedal stroke, you're going to see the difference.
Yeah, because literally on the first pedal stroke, it's calibrating and I'm pumping out the what 600 watts that immediately drops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yes, immediately on the first ride, you have the number in front of you. You you suddenly realize what I thought was going on is not reality. Absolutely not reality.
That's John, and I really appreciate how humble you're being about this, because it's important that other people understand that it's okay to admit that, yeah, this is a pretty interesting device. It really does tell me a lot about my writing style. So I
Hmm.
appreciate that you're allowing for me to keep poking and jabbing at you. What I want people to understand is that why I say perceived effort is always wrong, especially if you're a 50-mile kind of rider and you're on a 75-mile day. You're thinking, man, I'm pushing hard. I'm freaking working hard, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then you look down at the numbers and the numbers are 20% less than what you think you're pushing, or
Mm-hmm.
25.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, that power meter tells you either you're paying for your sins earlier in the day, or hey, step it up because you're going to miss your goal for today.
Yeah.
You wanted to finish this century in, I don't know, let's call it 6.5 hours, 7 hours, whatever it is. And now, it's coming down to the wire. You've got, 40K to go, 25 miles to go. Okay, I need to fuel more. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing that it's telling you. Your
Mm-hmm.
power is dropping. Okay, so I need to fuel better for my last 40K. These are, I mean, it is just, there's just so many things a power meter can tell you. We haven't even gotten into kilojoules yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, kilojoules as a weight management tool, right?
Yep.
And for the audience, kilojoules is the amount of work you've done on the bike and then the amount of food you're feeding yourself at the trough.
Yeah. Those are your calories right there. Those are
Yeah.
your calories.
And people are sitting there eating this big ass freaking burrito and all this other stuff, and they've only burned 1,000 kilojoules and they're eating 1,500
Mm-hmm.
at the pastry shop.
And not
So
only that, that is going to sit in your stomach also. It's not immediate energy.
that's right. But what I mean is the energy balance
Mm-hmm.
that people, oh, I can't lose weight and I ride so much. Well, let's look at your
Yeah.
kilojoules and let's look at your dietary habits.
Yeah. That's where you ask, are you? Are you really? Let's
Yeah,
see some numbers.
that's right. That's right. Right?
The math don't lie.
Like I said in the group thread, people lie, power meters don't. So again, you're riding and you think you're riding hard and you look down at
Mm-hmm.
your numbers and they're actually lower. Maybe then you start, oh, you know what? I still got two more gels in my pocket. Okay, boom, 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 boom. And then you get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have those numbers, you don't know because you think you're riding hard.
Yeah, yeah. Or I would say even the opposite, where if you're going on a day and you think you're cruising, but if your numbers say, hey, you're above average today, that's your PR day that you're probably wasting.
Well, that's another way to look at it. Okay, next one. Now that you were riding with a power meter, did you notice the silly things that other people were doing, or did they, or did they have power meters and they were just riding hard in these sections on purpose?
No, so in my group on the three rides that I did, I was the only one with the power meter. And what I did notice, so I was trying to hold a number as best I could.
Whatever that was. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not going to mention it because it's humbling.
Stop, John.
It was less than 9 watts per kilo. Let's put it that way.
Oh, well, so Tade is the only one that's got to worry about you now.
Yeah, yeah. Tade, I got you next year. You're lucky you're not in the Vuelta right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I did notice is I'm trying to hold a number, and the surging that other people would do, even in relatively flat areas where normally I wouldn't even think of that I'm feeling any difference in pedaling, but the numbers show it, and you see it with the surging of other people
All day long.
all day long. Yeah.
And that's why I end up riding alone so much because when I go out and ride, I ride very steady. I could ride and and just I mean, I just ride very steady. It's just very conservative type of riding. Always, not always, but since I got into ultras, I've always had a conservative mindset. I'm always throttling back. I'm hardly
Hmm.
ever pushing hard. And that's why a group ride is good if I go out to one, but I hardly ever. But yes, that's what I wanted you to notice. And I'm glad that you were the only one without, I'm sorry, with a power meter and everyone was without one, because then you would
Hmm.
see what other people do and
Yeah.
what you normally would have done with them.
Hmm.
And then at the end of the day, again, it's all about the caveat is always what is the training objective of the ride? If the ride is to hammer your friends to death and crawl back on your knees to the house, go for it and do that. But guess what? The power meter is going to help you do that too.
Hmm.
Because as you're going up a climb and they're holding 3 watts per kilo, you're like, well, I'm going to hold 3.5,
Hmm.
and then I'm going to put them in the dirt. And this kind of goes on to what you were just talking about the flattening of the course. So you started to see how people were, and then you're like, well, wait a minute. If I just hold this power,
Hmm.
did, were you rejoining them without having to reaccelerate to catch them? Like, did they back off, or was it that what? How did you stay with other people when there was that surging going on?
Yeah, with the surging, on the rides that we did, there weren't any really big climbs. Um, so usually they would back off to regroup.
For you to rejoin?
Yeah. And I will say one of the other things with the power meter is that since I was able to hold a number, it's great to pace other people with me. Where I mean, it happens to everybody if you're in a group ride where you're going, and you look over your shoulder and oh, everybody's way back there. Um, yeah, when you're holding a number that, in the beginning of the ride, you see what everybody else can do. You hold that number and you all stay together.
Yeah, yeah. I've mentioned this. I don't know what video I mentioned this, but that's the other. Oh, yeah, I mentioned it in the video where I talked about watts per kilogram,
Hmm.
about 100 kilogram rider, which is one of the people on that group thread, about a 70 kilogram rider, which is me. I'm sorry, 68 kilogram rider, which is me at 150 pounds. And then Jess, who's, I don't know, the
Well,
58.
we don't need numbers for we're not trying to out her.
No, no, no. But the point is, those three people that weigh dramatically different weights,
Hmm.
if you set a number, then you can all ride together and the
Hmm.
power meter helps you pace together.
Yeah.
So for example, when Jess and I are going out, and we're doing a loop or we're doing whatever, and everything's good the first few hours, maybe first 2, 3 hours. And then she starts to fade because she just doesn't put as many miles on the road as I do. It's gonna happen. Then when she starts falling off the wheel, then I say to her, give me a number. Give
Mm.
me a number. And if she'll say, just 2.5, all right, then I'll hold 2.5, and then I know she can stay on the wheel because she's looking at her numbers, knowing that she can hold 2.5 up this hill.
Hmm.
And so, okay, so then I back off, I hold 2.5, and even though I weigh 150 and she weighs, 20 pounds less than I do, we're both riding at 2.5 watts per kilo going up the hill.
Yeah.
Well,
And
go
for
ahead.
everybody out there, that number is a weight adjusted number.
Yeah.
So whether you weigh a lot more or you weigh a lot less, it takes that into account to even it out for everybody.
Yes, I'm sorry. I should have talked. It's basically everyone knows power to weight ratio. They've always heard about it in their entire life about cars and things and motorcycles and whatever. Basically, it's a pacing tool even to ride with friends.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
I rode today with a new rider. I posted a picture of him. He's just all excited. He wants to start riding a lot more. He's got an old 2008 Trek, and he came to my shop and he's like, I don't know why I've been going to the Trek store. This is a much better, he got that small business feel, right? Like I'm talking to the owner, he's a
Mm-hmm.
cyclist. There's a connection here, and this is what I want to be part of. And that was yesterday. So then today, I said, well, okay, look, I'm going on a recovery ride tomorrow, because I'm thinking, okay, he's out of shape, and he was. So it was perfect. I got
Mm-hmm.
a recovery ride out of it, and he got a zone three, zone four ride out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what I've always wanted my business to be, right? It's like I ride with people, I work on their bikes. I ride with people, I sell them something. I ride with people, you know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's what I always wanted my business to be. So, but the point is that while I was riding, he didn't have a power meter, so I was using heart rate instead. And so I was always asking him, what's your heart rate? What's your heart rate? So I could, okay, if I'm doing 120, he's 15 to 20 beats over that. So I'm at 120, he's at 140. Okay, all right, I'll hold 120 because that's all I had. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a number. It's the
Yeah.
same thing as a power meter. It's a number.
Well,
And
it's not the same as
no,
a
no,
power meter.
no.
It's a very crude way
Yes,
to do it.
no. Of course, of course, of course. But I'm just basically saying I had a number.
Mm-hmm.
So a
Mm-hmm.
power meter is a much better tool, but in this case, that's all we had. We
Yeah.
didn't have
Yeah.
anything else. I'm really happy this turned out the way it did. I mean, I packaged those pedals up and I just said, I'm just gonna send them to him because I I just I just want him to see why I'm so passionate about having a power meter and why dedicating some slush funds to a power meter is important compared to all the other crap that people buy for their bikes
Oh
that
yeah.
that will not make them a better cyclist. It
Mm-hmm.
makes their bike look better. Have I ever told you about the Starbucks factor? Have I told you about that one yet?
No, no.
I had a friend, and his name was Greg, and he and we came up with this thing, and it's called the Starbucks factor. It's like when your bike is parked at Starbucks. That's the thing about parking your bike there, and everyone's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Ooh, oh, you got those new chain rings. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, blah, 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 blah."
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's all that stuff that people geek out on.
Yeah.
Stuff that we
Campy
would geek,
riders are used to that, you
yeah,
know.
stuff that
Yeah.
stuff that we would geek out about, but it doesn't make the bike go any faster. It doesn't do anything. It may
Mm-hmm.
make the bike lighter, but who cares? Because he's still 50 pounds overweight.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? That's the Starbucks factor. So
Yeah.
those types of things, they're all show and
Mm-hmm.
no go.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a power meter is all about go, and it's very little show. It's just a pedal. It
Yeah.
doesn't look like anything.
Nobody ever says, "Hey, look at those Favero pedals."
Look at those amazing pedals.
I bet those are really accurate.
Well, okay, so funny thing. So now that I have the Shimano ones, you can't even tell. Like
Yeah.
at least with the pedals I sent you, you got the little pod on there.
Mm-hmm.
But on the Shimano ones, you can't even tell. So if I'm riding, no one knows I have a power meter or not. And let me tell you that that's something I always do. I always do this. If I'm sitting on someone's wheel and we're going up a climb, I look to see if they have a power meter. So
Ah.
I look at their pedals, I look at their crank arm,
Mm-hmm.
because if they have a power meter, I know I'm in for a freaking hurt, right? If I'm sitting on their wheel and I'm looking at my power and it's pretty high,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if he has a power meter, he knows he's going to blow up. I mean, yes, he knows he would blow up at this power. So he's
Mm-hmm.
either super strong or he's waiting for me to blow up first, right? So
You guys are playing chicken.
So I always look to see if that person has a power meter if I'm sitting on their wheel and I'm suffering. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one up because he's got a power meter, so he must know what he's doing. He knows he's putting out
Hmm.
5 watts per kilo, and he knows that he can hold that. Or he's, like I said, he's waiting for me to pop.
That is such a good tell
What's
on,
that?
does this cyclist have a power meter? Because usually when you roll up on somebody, oh, he's got a Pinarello. Oh, he's got a Colnago. Oh,
Yeah.
he's got this.
I don't give a shit
But
about any of that stuff.
yeah, if he's got a power meter, okay, it's on.
It could be on.
It
It could
could
be
be
on.
on. It
He
could
could
be
be
on.
just a collector of stuff.
Hmm.
But yes, just because he has a Colnago doesn't mean he rides hard.
No, he could be a dentist.
He could be a dentist. Or as Durian Rider calls him, a solicitor. Or oh no, I think he does say dentist bike.
Yeah. Oh, watch now when I go to my dentist, he's gonna say, "Hey, John,
Hey, John. Yeah.
we ran out of Novocaine for it
Yeah,
today."
yeah. Zzz. Yeah. But but it's true.
It
Like
is.
what was it? Sunday I went out for a recovery ride. So I did a 92 miler and then I went out for a recovery ride. And I went up a popular hill here called Torrey Pines. And I was just sitting on this guy's wheel and I looked over and I could tell he was a little heavier. And I looked over and I saw, okay, a power meter on his crankset. I said, okay, all right. And then I look at his computer screen and he had, you know, wattage right on the top
Uh-huh.
there. And I'm like, okay, we're in for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed on his wheel. And then eventually I popped up and over and then I looked back at him and he put himself in the hurt locker because he was the one pacing. He was pacing. I was sitting on.
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, I mean that hill, I think I did like a I don't know, 9 minute effort or something. And
Mm-hmm. I would
but
say the power meter is the opposite of when you see the guy roll up in a Pinarello and he's got the flat pedals on the bike.
yeah,
And you look over and you're, okay, okay.
yeah,
I got you, bro.
yeah. That what I was just saying, I need to also go through what Training Peaks shows you. Because right now all you're doing is seeing
Yeah.
what's on your computer and translating that to perceived. Oh, wait. Going back to the Power Meters to Dummies series, what can you tell me now that because you're my target audience. You're you're the guy with, hey, I just got a power meter. What does all this mean? What do I do with it? So
Hmm.
now that you've watched that series, what do you think about what the content? What do you think about the content?
Oh, dude, the content is just eye-opening. I will say that you are the snake that gave me the fruit of knowledge. And
Yeah.
now I am suffering the consequences, sort of.
But you started watching that series without a power meter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And did it seem like gobbledygook? Like,
It seemed like, yeah, this is for people that are way more serious than me, that or that care way more than me about numbers. It just seemed like, yeah, that doesn't apply to me.
that's for
That doesn't
bike
apply to me.
racers.
Yeah, yeah. That's for bike racers or people who are completely obsessed.
And this is something I say all the time. Power meters are not just for bike racers.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was your impression before you got the power meter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now that you've got the power meter, have you rewatched some older videos or where are you at? Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Now I'm rewatching them and I'm paying attention. So, yes, it's like it opens this whole new world of cycling that you can add to if you care about your PR and if you look at it and go like, "Oh, that PR is 5 years old on Quimby Road. That John doesn't exist anymore." This kind of gives you a little bit of hope of, hey, it's you just need to change what you're doing a little bit. You just need to adjust.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's PRs that I've got that are out there that I may never get again. There's a few KOMs that I still have that I'm surprised I still have them because this area is replete with pro cyclists
Oh yeah, you
and
live in the Cookie Monster zone.
and monsters of masters racing. So it's just a matter of oh, I didn't know that was a KOM segment. Let me go get it now.
hmm
I'm actually a little further south from the Cookie Monster, but I'm really excited for you, John, because I want to I want people to understand how valuable something is
hmm
as opposed to first saying it's expensive, which was your first
Oh
quip.
yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
was your first quip. Well, they're expensive. And tell me why you don't have a power meter.
Ah, I can't answer that. I don't know.
I can
Um,
say why I don't have one because they're expensive.
there you go.
This
They're
is cycling.
expensive.
There's nothing expensive in cycling. Everything's affordable.
Yeah,
Everything
they're
is
expensive, says the guy who rides Campy,
expensive.
right? Hmm
Yeah, but yeah, but traveling around the whole country to do a 1200K and spending 5 nights in a hotel. Come on, man. There's $500 in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. It is expensive, but the value rating is very high.
And
The value
especially
is very high.
Thank you, sir. And especially when you consider that power meters were 3,500 when I first
hmm
started riding.
hmm
Seriously, anyway. In 2000, well, in 2003, whatever, I bought an SRM power meter in 2009. It was 3,500 bucks. They're like not even half the price. They're way less than half the price now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
things have gotten very, very, very affordable to the point where my margins are squat now. But, you know, that is the industry. It's a race to the freaking bottom with these power meter pricing margins and all that stuff.
yeah.
So,
Until we have a rev power meter, it is what it is.
yeah, if I could brand one. So yeah, I think if did we cover all your notes?
There's one more note
Okay,
that I have.
okay, go ahead.
So you always talk about pacing up the hill, you crest, you keep the power as you're going down.
Yes. Not
When
not all of it, but keep powering over the hill.
Well,
Yes.
I was gonna say that on a downhill when
It's
you're
impossible.
coasting and you're doing 25, 30 miles an hour with pumping in 0 watts, and I was looking down thinking, wow, if I put in even more, I'm gonna be going 35, 40, and I'm thinking about you who regularly goes down like what, 45-ish,
50, 60 miles per
50?
hour. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, you've got bowling ball sized.
Are you saying because the speed
It's the speed. It's just, I'm not used to going that fast. And so it's like, wow, this having the energy to put in more, it unlocks another level of speed that, I'm just not used
Yeah.
to or comfortable with.
Yeah. Let me clear this up because I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. If you're going, we need a number, John. Where are you climbing at? Give me a number.
I'll put it at 1.5.
All right, let's call it two.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. So you're climbing at 2 watts per kilo. If you're climbing at 2 watts per kilo, what I'm saying is here's the top of the hill. I want you to climb 2 watts, 2 watts, 2 watts, go over the top, still holding 2 watts per
Still
kilo.
going. Yeah.
Not like, oh, I just made it. I
Yeah, yeah.
never ever want anyone to climb a hill that way. And when you get over that hump of that hill and you're starting to go down the other side, yeah, okay, 1 watt per kilo or 1.5 watt per kilo. I'm not saying you keep going up to 2 and whatever. It's just finish the hill.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of people just kind of just make it to the top and just
yeah.
barely make it
It's a hilltop finish every time.
every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want people is to learn how to pace themselves so that they have the power to
Hmm.
go over the top of the hill.
Yeah,
And
and you have the choice to go faster downhill.
if you want to.
Yeah,
That's right.
if you want to.
That's right. Did we cover all your points then?
There you go. Yep.
You covered them all? John, thank you for your time and your humility. I appreciate that without actually saying, George, you were right. It's one of those.
I'll say it, George. You were right. 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 I'll say it, George. You were right.
Oh, I was gonna
You were
let you
right.
off the hook
You're
by
right.
saying, what?
Campy's the best.
Oh, no, no, no. Go back. What'd you say just a second ago?
Yeah, they can rewind.
All right. Basically, it was one of those situations where tell me I'm right without telling me I'm right. All right,
Where's my
John.
drink?
Yeah, John, give me some knuckles. Thanks,
Oh,
brother. Hey, yeah, I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate your humility and thank you. And for everyone else, if you enjoyed this type of banter between two guys,
yeah. Go get a power meter.
go get a power meter and please like and subscribe and share this video with other folks who think that maybe they might want a power meter. Let them know.
You
All
need
right,
it.
you do. All right. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you up the road.